record this? 20 minutes, hold up. Hello, welcome to a new episode of Half and Half Talks. Welcome to another episode of the critically acclaimed Half and Half.
In the daytime.
In the daytime.
For once.
This is the earliest we've ever met up. We always meet at like 10 o'clock.
Like midnight.
On this cast, we typically talk films and such. Today we're talking about The Joker, the movie that came out 2.5 months ago. But hey, better late than never.
We knew you were all clamoring for our opinion,
Clamoring.
so we had to rush. By rush, I mean watch it 2 months ago and never watch it again, and then make a podcast about
I saw it twice.
I only saw it once.
I saw it once with my girlfriend, who was very uncomfortable throughout.
Really?
Which makes sense. It's a very uncomfortable movie to watch.
Yeah, it's not easy to watch.
And then I saw it with my dad, and my dad liked it. The only problem he had with it is because most of it was filmed in the Bronx, if not all of it. But like they would film certain parts. Like he said, there was a part where like when he got hit by the
car.
Yeah, like he said, oh, that's on Jerome. But then when he walks up into the station, it's like a station in Brooklyn. And my dad was like, I was just taken out of it, and I was like,
no,
but
he's the very very minor minority.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, that's what I told him. It's
I had no idea this was even like
it's
in
fake
Brooklyn.
city.
So yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but like there's a sign for the A train. I was like, but it's a fake A train. That's the thing. It doesn't exist.
I liked the stairs, like how much attention the stairs got after this movie came out, and like the fact that all the neighborhood residents just like bet.
Fuck off. When I was in the Bronx, I was in New York maybe 2 weeks after this came out, and we had to take the 4 train to get to Manhattan, and my cousin was like, this is the stop with the Joker stairs if you want. And I was like, I don't want.
No.
I don't want. I'm sorry.
Good. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Exactly. Especially because it was like right after.
Oh
So
yeah, everybody was dressed
everyone.
up in Joker attire and going down there and doing their dance. I'm just
I
like,
couldn't do that. I'm sorry. I had to refrain.
How are these people not getting robbed?
I wouldn't doubt if they were.
There's too many of them.
Exactly. Anyway, Joker. It's a film set outside the DCEU, Worlds of the DC Universe, I think is the official title.
Thank God.
I don't mind the DCEU.
I love that this has nothing to do with
with
almost
everything?
nothing to do with Batman.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
And I'll explain why. Because I don't need it. I don't need Batman in these movies. I don't need it. Like I think that this was perfect on its own.
Yes, it was a good standalone. I liked the vibe of the film overall. You know, like how they had, like when it opened with the Warner Brothers logo from like 1976. I did this. I was like,
I like the little things like that.
Very fun.
So this movie came out over 2 months ago. So I mean, we're not gonna waste time not spoiling it. If you haven't seen it, I mean, that sucks.
No one's beating.
You probably should have went and seen it when there were 17 showtimes a day. But
would you like to go first, since it is in the recesses of your memory, or?
Sure.
Go for it.
So overall, I liked it. I thought it was really good. The things I liked about it were that it had nothing to do with Batman. Like, it was its own story, because I don't feel like this Joker is the same Joker that would be Batman's like arch nemesis, you know? Because everything that happens in this movie, like that he's involved in, almost happens by coincidence. But like almost everything, like the cops getting beat up, everything, the riots, all that is like not orchestrated by him. It's all just happening around him. I don't feel like he's very methodical or are super smart or plans ahead. I just feel like he literally is like more of just an unstable guy. Like Victor Zsasz, like he kind of gives off that vibe where he's just fucking crazy,
Just
like,
evil to be evil type. Not necessarily, but like there's no method to the madness.
yeah, like he's just you know, like this mentally ill guy who gets pushed to his breaking point and loses it on live television. Which I was like, I loved it. I thought that part was amazing, where he's giving the whole monologue and he's fake laughing just to seem like normal, like, and that's throughout the whole movie. He's just like putting on this fake laugh to I don't know if that was because he can't control his laughter caused by a brain injury, so he uses this as like his own like control over that. I mean, I'm probably reading way too much into it, but I liked that. I liked the score a lot. The music is amazing.
That was good.
I was super happy with it. I wasn't crazy about the song where he's going down the stairs. I just didn't really think it fit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like,
yeah, I didn't really think it fit in the tone of the movie and just like overall. But I guess I read a lot about this movie after it came out, and I read that Todd Phillips said that he constantly has music playing in his head. So what I think is that like whenever you hear music in the movie, it's music like it's just always in his head. You know, like that makes sense for the bathroom scene. It makes sense for like why he's perfectly in sync in the stairs. And I thought it made sense. It was a little off-putting at first, but I forgave it. I liked how little this movie had to do with Batman. I feel like I almost got too much. I liked the Thomas Wayne storyline. I thought that was a natural way of introducing it.
yes.
But I don't like so like the part where he's at the mansion, you're like, oh, this is wild, because it doesn't tell you it's Alfred. It doesn't tell it doesn't tell you. You just kind of infer, and it's cool. But the end where he is in the psych ward and he's laughing, he's like, I have a joke, and this was already after you saw Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot, and it cuts back to that shot where he's standing over his parents, like, yeah, we get it, like we know.
Yeah,
we know.
they're
Like
dead.
I didn't need to see that. Also, why does Joker think that's funny? Like he doesn't know either. Like
Sure.
I that part I was kind of like, it's like that doesn't really make sense. But I thought also another thing I didn't like about this ending or about the movie was the ending. I all right. So this movie's ending is to be interpreted, in my opinion. I think that there's multiple ways to take this whole movie actually as the way you want it. I prefer it to take it as face value, because the more I think about it, the more I like think it's really lazy writing. Like the whole, oh well, did it happen? Did it happen this way? You know, I think that's really lazy when movies do that.
Yeah.
So I don't like to think too much into it. I like to think, you know, it happened. He's in the ward. That's it. Like, you know, I don't like to think further into it. Like, well, he's an unreliable narrator. Well, yeah, that may be, and there's some parts of the movie that work with that. But the ending where he's just basically, they're just, you know, retconning the whole thing and just, oh no, it may have happened. It may not have happened. You know, I feel that feels cheap to me.
Yes.
But overall, I thought it was really, really great. I loved Joaquin Phoenix.
So good.
And
So
people are comparing Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger, and I just don't think you can. I feel like they're two different. They're just two different games. You know.
Yeah.
Like they're both amazing performances, but they're like different interpretations of the character. So I can't really think you can compare them. You can compare Jared Leto's Joker to everybody because it's universally shitty. Like no matter what. Like I don't know what they were doing. Like I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, kill me. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think with comparing Joaquin to Heath, I feel like they're like different characters. Like yeah, it's the Joker, but it's like comparing Brandon Routh's Superman to like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't feel
it's
like
night and day, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it should be compared. I mean, and that's the first thing everybody's gonna do, because you know Heath Ledger obviously came in and like made that role his bitch, and
licked
you know,
his lips and stabbed people with the pencil and stuff.
The one thing you remember is the lip licking. Yes, that's my favorite part of Heath Ledger's Joker.
That's the whole movie.
His moist lips.
If you cut out all the times that he licks his lips, the movie would be 45 minutes long.
I couldn't find any like a lot of things wrong with this movie. I have a lot more positive things to say about it than negative things. It does get kind of bogged down at times.
Okay.
I felt like just like, and that's like barely. Like there's a couple scenes where I'm like, all right, let's go. Like let's progress the story. We don't need to sit there and focus on this. And I haven't seen the movie in 2 months. To be fair. So I don't really like remember the whole thing, you know, scene by scene. But I thought it had enough humor to make it just not dark enough. Because Jessica Jones season 1 is like one of the darkest things I've ever seen in my whole life, and I didn't enjoy like any of it because it was just so dark all the time. There was like no humor in it.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
and when it was dark humor.
Yeah, like I was like, fucking A. I was like, let's to inject a little life into this show, but I thought like the lock thing was funny. With the, I was like, there's just enough of that stuff.
That was dark.
It was really dark.
When first time I saw it, I died, and then the second I was like looking at my father to see what he said, and when it happened, he just said, who wrote
sad
that?
Dad is sad.
He was very disappointed with that joke.
It was I mean, my critique is I would have liked to see him as the Joker for more of the movie. And I get, it's the climax, he turns into the Joker, I get it. You have to see his character progression and everything like that. It's just I very much enjoyed the end where he's just like murdering all the people that did him wrong. Like and he just fully embraced being a total psychopath. I thought that was like probably the most fun I had with the movie, because I mean, it's a good movie. Did I like, what was I in my seat going, oh, I love this, when I saw Joaquin Phoenix getting the shit beat out of him for like 2/3 of this movie? Not really. I thought it like, it was natural for it to happen and needed to happen to progress the character and push him to that breaking point. But I mean, I thought the most fun I had was when he's just going full Joker at the end, and then which I felt like it was kind of a little short, because he got immediately arrested, like right away, and then like the car hits him, and then like I think when he's sitting on top of the car and he like takes the blood out of his mouth and makes the grin, I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is art. This is a masterpiece. Like, I think that there was a lot of negative controversy around this movie when it first came out, for literally no reason. Like, it's this movie's, I feel like this movie's held to a different standard than most movies about this topic. I just don't get it. It's a movie. Like, it's not going to trigger a mass shooting because of Joaquin Phoenix being the Joker. I mean, I get where some people are coming from, but I personally I think that they're just shifting the blame to something that doesn't. It's like they're shifting the blame away from the real issues onto a piece of media, just like they do with video games.
I was gonna say they do it with video games. They do it with rock music. Remember when like it was all that?
Oh yeah, it was the devil's music.
All that Satan shit that they were talking about.
Now
in the
there's
80s.
Christian rock. It didn't make sense to me. I thought it was great. I thought it deserved every penny of the money it made. It made over $1 billion.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, I think it was well deserved. But I think just when you take it as a whole, like with the score, and just, like, you really sit there and like experience it, like, if you're not really, I don't know if this is for the mass movie going audience. I mean, obviously it made $1 billion, but like, I just feel like you have to really enjoy I feel like you have to really enjoy like the art of movie. Like, that sounds like stupid pretentious, but like I feel like you have to have like,
you have to be able to appreciate film.
Yeah, I mean like, it sounds like, that sounds really dumb, but I don't feel like everybody's gonna love this movie, because most people just want to come in and see The Dark Knight. And this movie's very much not that. It's actually pretty slow sometimes. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every second of it. I thought it was like a great character study of like Arthur Fleck. I thought it was almost everything I wanted in a Joker movie, almost. And that was good enough for me.
I think I don't even know where to begin. I think as far as superhero movies, it isn't the best, but it's probably the deepest.
That's fair.
Because I can't think of, like, there's nothing in the MCU that has ever tackled anything this deep as far as character work. Yeah, Infinity War is a good Thanos movie, but still.
I mean, I think Black Panther's the one that got the closest to tackling any sort of issue.
True. Oh yeah, as far as tackling issues, yeah, for sure. But as far as, like, focusing on craft and making a film, this is a superhero film. Like, there's a lot of superhero movies, there's few superhero films. And this does a good job at that. I thought the Joker score, like that, I don't know, was it an organ? Was it a cello with broken strings? I don't know, but it was scary.
I loved it.
He was dancing and you hear that, dong, Boom. I'm just like, oh, it sounds like the freaking THX logo.
It's I thought it was so good.
It was awesome. I agree with you on most of it. It's very up for interpretation. It's very not for everyone. I like to imagine that everything in the movie happened. However, I do entertain the theories that whatchamacallit, did everything happen? Like when the guy comes to when Baldy and Short Man come to his house, and Arthur's talking all that shit, and the tall guy's like, "What are you talking about? Like, I want you to be okay. I'm sorry about your mom." And then he gets stabbed in the neck. Like,
Yeah.
he was genuinely compassionate in that moment.
See, I don't know. I didn't get that. I feel like they came there,
To pay their
but
respects.
they didn't. I feel like there was I'm super unprepared because I saw this movie 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But I thought I was understanding they came there for like a much more non-genuine reason, like just to kind of make fun of him and like
Okay.
because they probably know he's gonna fly off the handle or. I didn't get that whole they came over to pay their condolences. Like I thought they were coming over like sarcastically.
I didn't get that. I could see why you would say that, because Big Man was kind of a dick to him earlier in the film, but I felt like Short Guy was always compassionate. So that's why when Short Guy was with him and they were like, "Oh, we're sorry. Here's a bottle of champagne." Like I felt like they were compassionate and genuine and being like, "Hey, we're sorry about what happened to you." But I think Arthur was already way off the deep end. That he was like, "I don't care."
Oh yeah, I mean he kills him in that scene. So
Exactly.
like it's over.
Same with the scene with Zazie Beetz, the neighbor girl. Like that scene was awesome. I think Todd Phillips said, "Oh, she's alive," but
I didn't see. Yeah, and I didn't get the whole vibe that he killed her.
the only
Like I never inferred that.
the only reason I did is because in the very next shot when he's just in his house just chilling, you see sirens in the background. Like you see flashing lights in the background.
I just thought that was because of the riots.
Oh yeah,
But that was
true.
a good interpretation though because I didn't even catch that.
True.
This is why I need to see the movie again. I meant to go see it more than once just because I felt like there was stuff that I had missed or stuff that I hadn't picked up on that I might pick up on now that I've seen the movie and now that I've seen the ending. Because he is like the unreliable narrator and like I said, it works for the most part. Like when he gives him the gun and then he is confronted by his boss and the boss tells him that the same guy told him that he wanted to buy the gun. You're just like is this dude just making this up to get him in trouble or did he actually ask for the gun and stuff? Like it's a lot to
Unpack.
make you think, and you can I feel like some people would take that as like not like inconsistent. Like I feel like people won't take that as him being unreliable narrator. I think they'll take him as being like, oh, this guy, like face value. I don't know. I'm not really making much sense right
No,
now.
you are. Like,
I woke up literally an hour ago because I'm a bum.
I woke up 2 hours ago. No, I think I could agree. Like it's so. It's like an abstract painting. It's like a Jackson Pollock. There's like a bunch of stuff on the screen, and you just gotta. What do you think about this? Oh, I think it's a crazy dude who's just making shit up. Oh, well, I think it's the story of a man who descended into madness. Like it's one of those. I think him getting off his meds did not help this movie at all. If anything, Gotham is the reason for this. I liked Thomas Wayne. I like the Thomas Wayne arc. I agree with what you said that it might have been a little too Batman. That shot at the end was like, I think it's like Batman 404 or some shit like that. One of the year one covers. It's literally Bruce sitting in the middle of his two dead parents angled for camera.
See, I wouldn't mind that scene so much if we just hadn't seen
that end part.
If we just hadn't seen the parents get killed. Like we already know they're dead.
Sure.
He was right there. There was like I'm pretty sure there was a lingering shot of him over his parents there too. It just didn't make sense because how would the Joker like it cut that in such a way that when the Joker is thinking that he knows that he's gonna grow up to be Batman, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, that part.
I was like, it didn't really. I don't know. Like I didn't think it really made. Yeah. I was like, the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, just take it Just take it out, please.
Snip, snip. No, I agree, but I do still like the Thomas Wayne arc is probably my favorite part. I'm gonna get to this part last, but the like when he confronts him in the bathroom, I was like, is he gonna fucking die right now? Like, is this it? Is Thomas?
Oh, yeah.
Is Thomas about to get killed? But Bruce isn't with them. What? And then when Thomas just decks him in the schnoz, it was just so good. Thomas was originally supposed to be Alec Baldwin, and I'm glad he wasn't. I'm very glad he wasn't, because Alec Baldwin is too to be Thomas and be, you know, he's supposed to be like a big dude, and I felt like the weight of him every time he was on screen. Like, I could tell this man is important, minus, you know, the last name, Wayne. But he carried himself well.
Yeah.
I like that. I like how Martha didn't have any speaking lines. That was
Not
phenomenal.
one?
Not one.
Not one. Showed up, got her pearls ripped off, and
That was it. She was arm candy.
yeeted.
Oh well. I like when he goes to the Wayne Manor, and Bruce with that fly ass coat comes up to him and just lets a stranger put his fingers in his mouth.
Yeah, right. Well, okay.
That was
this is a little odd, but I guess this movie's taking it there.
In the second trailer, they had that shot, and people were like, "Oh, so that's Bruce Wayne." But when they were playing that, oh, maybe they're brothers, I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I enjoyed
this.
that.
It's different. I don't mind. That was cool, especially because they really play up to what you were saying about up to your interpretation. They really play that. Oh, Martha Wayne, what's Mama Fleck is absolutely batshit crazy. That woman needs help.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, Thomas can help us. We're family.
She wrote him like a million letters.
Exactly. I just realized it wasn't long.
You locking me in here?
What should I call it? But yeah, she's like, oh, Thomas, he's family. He'll help us. And then when Bruce goes up to Alfred and Thomas, they're like, that woman is crazy as hell. Lock her up. Put her away. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Get away from me. And then at the end, when he's painting his face and he sees that picture of her and flips it, it says, what was it? Like, I think it said on the back, I love those eyes, or I love your smile.
You're asking the wrong.
TW. You didn't?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
The next time.
Wow,
you
I'm
watch,
unprepared.
the next time you watch, when he's painting his face at the end, he has a picture of his mother, and then he flips it, something about, oh, you're so beautiful, TW, and I was like, so did they fuck or not?
Yeah, well, that's part of that's some of the things that frustrated me about this movie, is that it's good. Like, some parts just really make me like, just give me an answer.
Yes.
Just give me a definitive answer. I don't really want like everything in this movie to be up for interpretation or up for question. Like, just give me some straightforward answers and just a little bit of like unreliability. Like, the ending, fine, but like the throughout the movie, like, they do it a lot.
Yeah, they dance around, like with the Zazie and did he really sell him the gun? Someone made a theory that did he really steal the sign, or did those kids really steal the sign, or does Arthur just have it? Because he was like, oh, they beat me and took it, and the guy was like, why the hell would they take a sign, Arthur? He's like, like, they tried to paint it like Arthur is a habitual liar, and I felt like if you just saw the sign in like his living room, I would have been like,
yeah, all right. I mean, like,
that also would have been too on the nose too.
So. There's a point where it almost becomes like too much. Like, that would be interesting, but I think it would be too much, because then you'd be like, am I even like, is any of this movie even matter? Basically, is the question you're asking. If it gets too deep into that territory, you're just like, okay, so what, am I just watching this guy have a fever dream, or like what? You know, I just want to see this guy's like descend into madness, essentially. Like, I want to see him become the Joker. I want to see his mental health deteriorate, as bad as that sounds, but like, that's what everybody came into this movie wanting.
Yeah,
so
we want to see him go crazy. I think the only reason I don't agree with the whole sign thing is because, like, when he's opening his shoes, he has bruises on his back. He looks like he got fucked up. So, whatever. But
what do you think about his weight loss for this movie?
I think it is super unhealthy.
I was like, ooh.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a few times I was like,
too much ribs.
Too much.
Put them back.
I think
don't need that.
I don't like when people lose weight for movies though. Like Christian Bale did it in like '96 or whatever.
Christian Bale's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like there's no
just goes
way
up
that
and
it's good
down
for your body, man.
all
Like
the time.
in The Machinist,
Is
that you're
the
talking
one?
about?
Yeah, I think.
Where he weighs like 80 pounds.
Yeah, that looks bad.
Holy shit, man! That dude's got to have some health issues. He's got to be diabetic or
Oh
something.
yeah,
Like,
his doctor hates him.
he like literally he has to. There has to be something wrong with him. Nobody just does that, and their body's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll gain
I'm
250
fine.
pounds of pure muscle in 3 weeks.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll lose it all in a month. Why not? You know, like there's no he's gonna be a fucking skeleton sitting in a chair still acting.
When he dies, he's just gonna turn to dust like Voldemort. Like his body, just his immune system is
Turn to ash.
It's just gonna.
Oh,
What were we talking about? The Waynes. Yeah, the Waynes are freaking wild. My favorite part was, yeah, I do think that they did have an affair. I do believe that he is Bruce's brother personally, especially because how defensive Thomas is when he's in the bathroom. Like, I mean, he punches him in the face.
Yeah.
If you're just like, no, I didn't do it, I'm sorry, son, and you don't just immediately punch him in the face 3 sentences later. So I do feel like
There's something there.
And it was after he called him dad, wasn't it? It's like, don't call me that, get away.
Yeah. He's like, I think I saw the scene like earlier because I've been watching scenes from this movie just because I'm so fascinated by it, and like I can't stop thinking about it. And that's why I think is that this movie is as good as it is because I can't stop thinking about it. Like it's constantly on my mind. It's so I don't think they could have done it any better. Do I want more of these movies? No, I don't. I don't want any more Joker movies. I think that's fine.
Here's the thing. It made more than Justice League and Shazam and like Man of Steel.
I understand. I understand. They're
combine.
gonna, it made $1 billion, but it's just the fact that like, I hate when studios do that. They make $1 billion and they make an unnecessary sequel because I don't think that this movie can support an entire. I don't think that they can make this movie about the Joker just like he's already the Joker
and him against
because
Batman
I
and all
don't
that.
feel like he's that type of character.
No,
he's
not
not
just that.
like I said, he's not smart. He doesn't like he just acts on emotion almost. So like I feel like the movie would be over quick. Like he gets out, goes and kills some guy and then boom, he's in jail. Like that's it.
I agree. Also, he's like we said, he lost a lot of weight. Like if Batman punches him, he's dead. Like the end.
That's and I didn't get the whole vibe that he is Batman's greatest foe. He's
just like this indestructible like god essentially that can't die. And yeah, he gets arrested, but who cares? Like I don't know. It's just
I don't need any more.
I don't.
I'm perfectly happy with how this ended. I don't need any more darks. DC origin superhero movie. Like I don't need it because that's exactly where this is going.
Oh, for sure. Especially with Batman coming out in 2021.
So we could talk about that at the end. That could be like a bonus because I have a lot to say about.
As do I. Let me say this about Thomas and Martha right quick. When they, first of all, the whole movie, like the whole riot scene, I was just like, the whole time I was just staring and so excited and all that, and then I was like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And then it shows the mask of Zorro, and I just did.
When it showed the theater, I'm like, okay. I'm like, obviously, like we all knew this was gonna come. Like it's a Joker movie. They already introduced Bruce Wayne. It's happening.
I originally did not want them to die because I'm tired of seeing them die. I never want to see them die again. In the 2021 one, if we see them die again, I'm leaving.
See, that's why I was almost fine. Like I would have been fine with them not showing it. I would have been fine with them like, hey, there's a news report of like, Thomas and Martha Wayne have been like, something not as obvious. Like maybe just a little so like when people see that they're like, oh shit, this is where it happened. Not like, oh shit, oh they're gonna show it again. Okay. Oh, and they're gonna show the lingering shot of Bruce Wayne. Okay, yeah.
The lingering shot was the dead horse for me, but I think the fact that it showed Thing of Zorro and I got excited to see 2 people get murdered in front of their son.
I mean, that's to the movie's credit. I was not. I was like, I've seen this a million times. I don't need to see it again.
I agree, but for me personally, I was like, yeah.
Unless they did something different with it.
Which I don't think they
like,
ever will. They
like
never
you know,
will do
what if they
something
did like the Flashpoint?
Okay.
Yeah, like what if they made it so like, well, not exactly Flashpoint, but like Martha and Bruce got killed,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next one's just about, you know, Thomas Wayne falling from grace, and like they're just like, you know, I think it still wouldn't have supported a whole movie,
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel like Arthur Fleck is super easy to beat.
Yeah.
But it's still
One
it would
punch.
have been like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. That happens. You're like, oh my god, like it's not at all what I thought was gonna happen.
Damn, I just had a good thing about the Joker. Oh well. The Waynes, I'm glad they're dead. And damn it, I almost had it again. The end, I liked the end song. End song was fantastic. Cause I liked that Sinatra song prior to, and now when I hear it, I get goosebumps.
Which song?
The That's Life.
Oh yeah, yeah. The one where he's in Arkham.
Mm-hmm. Like I liked how that was the exit song for Robert De Niro's talk show. I like how after he shoots Robert, which phenomenal, great. It was something, and the music started rising. I was like, he's going to die, and then he did, and it was just magnificent.
I honestly wasn't even expecting it. I thought
I wasn't
actually. No, I can't say that because I after I saw it, I'm like, of course he wasn't gonna kill himself, because like, you know, it's the whole movie. But when it happened, I was like, yes. Like, I think the most Joker he has been in this whole movie, the part that stands out as like
was kissing
he
that
is the
old
Joker.
kissing that old woman unconsensually.
What?
Oh, before he sits down at the talk show, like when they introduce him, he's doing his dance and all the old short lady that's next to him, he grabs her by the face and just.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Oh, that was magnificent. Continue.
You know, that's it. That's like better answer than mine. No, it's the part that that I keep like thinking about is when the cops are on the subway, but it's the end of that scene where they fall out of the door and they're getting beat up, and he slowly lifts up the mask and he's laughing at them, and then he does the dance, turns around and throws the mask in the trash can. That was like peak Joker for me out of the whole movie.
Walking out the subway with the one blue teardrop.
Yes,
and stuff.
I was like, this is it. This is amazing. Like, but then it was also followed by the Murray Franklin show, and I was like, okay, it got even better.
That's
but I felt like that moment captured like what I wanted out of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. It was just like he's laughing at these people getting, you know, beat to death, and he's just like, you know, he does his little dance as he walks away. I love that. I thought it was perfect. I thought it matched the character perfect. And it shows you how much like I think that this movie did a really great job of showing, like, you know, he's this like really beat down human being in the beginning of the movie who's just like has these bad thoughts, and like
when he's walking up the stairs, he's all low
has to wrestle with them, and he's just constantly getting shit on, and then and then he kills those people on the subway, and then he's just like dancing in the bathroom, and then he dances down the stairs. Like, so, like, one of my favorite things, somebody pointed this out, is that he's like sulking up the stairs in the beginning of the movie, and then by the end of the movie he's dancing down. And somebody said that was a metaphor for like delving into
I like it.
insanity.
Nice.
And I was like, that's cool. I'm sure the people of Brooklyn would disagree, but
They were there. What was I gonna say? Question. Have you ever once during the film felt bad for him?
Yeah. I think you kind of have to. You kind of have to at some points. That way, when he just goes full clown, you're just kind of shocked, because, you know, you have to. That's kind of like one of the key points of character progression, is that you have to take a character that like you feel sympathy for and make him kind of totally unsympathetic. I mean, some people would disagree. Some people would think it's like the other way around, but I like the way this movie did it, to where you're just like, oh well, I mean, he's just, you can't control it. He's laughing, and people are beating the shit out of him, and you know, like it's he's got this sick mother, and you know, his life. He just wants to be a comedian, and he daydreams about it all day, of being on the Murray Franklin show, and just the fact that like by the end of it, he's just like this guy who's just a total psychopath and doesn't give a fuck and just kills everybody. Well, not everybody, but just like all the people that did him wrong. It's just I felt like you kind of needed to feel bad for him in the beginning. because by the end you're just like, this guy
how
lost
far?
it, you know?
Oh, how far he has come.
You know, like I think that it's kind of like how you have to write a tragedy,
Mhm.
and I felt like that's what this movie was to me. It was like a tragedy.
Okay, well put. I was like, there was times I was like, oh, Arthur, but I was never like, the one time.
Well,
I
yeah,
felt,
never that far. I was just
Okay.
kind of like, oh, that
Oh,
sucks.
darn. The one time I felt genuinely bad for him, more than anything, more than him getting jumped by children or jumped on the subway or whatever, was when he was doing his talk or his stand-up, and he couldn't hold himself from laughing at the beginning. Like that, I was like, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no, Arthur, please do this good.
Stuff like that gives me like anxiety,
Mhm.
like
I
a
felt
secondhand
bad.
embarrassment. I'm just like, ah.
Like, ooh, no one's laughing at his jokes.
Everybody,
Oh,
everybody knew
boy.
walking into this movie this was gonna happen,
Mhm.
and I still wasn't ready for it. I was
I-
like,
God, especially because the guy before him was so funny. I'm not sure, but if you heard him walking up the stairs, what was the guy's bit? It was women having sex. They see having sex like buying a car. Like, is it reliable? Will I die?
oh, yeah.
Men having sex is like parking a car. I could fit there. I could fit there too.
See, this is why I needed to see the movie again, because I forgot all these little things.
The worst joke was something that I felt bad for laughing for. He kept going on about like I could fit there, and then he says, "Oh, that one's handicapped. I hope no one sees this." I was like,
Oh my god.
It's terrible. Mid
I
70s
love it.
comedy.
I
So
love it.
fucked up. So fucked up. Anyway, yeah, Joker. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Not for the average goer though.
No
Not at all.
way. I not definitely not everybody's gonna like this movie. I feel like it kind of got review bombed because like people had such an issue with it. I think it deserved higher than a 66.
That's a 66?
Yeah, it has a 66.
Wait, on like Rotten Tomatoes? Oh, I don't care about
So
that.
Rotten Tomatoes, like everybody thinks that Rotten Tomatoes is the single entity that just gives it its own score,
Mhm.
but people don't understand that it's a consolidation of
Mhm.
reviews from different websites that they take a mean of like the scores that are maybe 3 stars or above and take that as a positive
Mhm.
and plug it against the scores that are 2 2 or less
Mhm.
and plug them together, and out of those it takes what is positive and gives it a number. Like, but that's like from a program. That's not that's not Mr. Tomatoes sitting in his chair, you know, going
Good movie.
66 bad. Like
Rotten.
everybody shits on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's not the website's fault,
Uh-huh.
you know. Like, it's the reviews. The reviewers are doing this.
I will say this. I prefer Metacritic only because they have like a bar of entry. Whereas like Rotten Tomatoes, like all you have to do is like make an account or some shit. Because like for instance, someone pointed this out on Twitter. It's like super far left for the most part. Like the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her Netflix special or whatever. They made like a Netflix documentary about her, and I love AOC. Don't get me wrong, but it has like 100% or something, like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. And then the Dave Chappelle show, where he makes fun of everyone,
Yeah.
has like an 18.
That one kind of bothered me because I felt like that would kind of deter some people from watching it, because I think it's hilarious.
It's super fucked up,
I
and I understand people's frustrations. However,
well, a lot of people just, you know, he's punching down or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care. Like, I think it's hilarious. I think you just gotta, you know, like, everybody gets shit on, you know. Who cares?
I get it. But it's for that reason exactly that Rotten Tomatoes is just not for me. Like whenever they say, "Oh, 100% certified fresh," I'm like, "Oh, just please kill yourself."
Well, I mean, yeah, I have.
Senor Tomato.
I have. I've had a lot of movies that have gotten good reviews. The Witch, that I walked out of going,
What is wrong with
why
you?
the fuck did that have a 90?
Like, same with IGN.
IGN is garbage for me. Like, they gave Suicide Squad an 8, and that's unforgivable.
They gave
Not
Independence
happening.
Day Resurgence an 8, and after that, I was like, "Oh, so I will not take this as the gospel anymore."
I think Independence Day Resurgence might be worse than Suicide Squad.
I remember. Did you go to that screening or did
Hell
you
no.
quit?
Hell no. No, I was there. I
Really?
worked there. I just didn't go.
I went to that one, and I remember after watching it saying, "I should have stayed home. I could have been playing 2K." Instead, I'm watching Jussie T. Usher or whatever his name is.
Is that his
Terribly.
name?
I think
he never acted in anything again.
Will Smith's son. No, he acts in like a lot of C tier stuff. And he's not good.
Yeah, well,
he's
duh.
not likable. Like every time he was like, "We gotta do this for Earth," I was like, "Fucking Christ, kill them all, please, aliens."
When it had the shot in the trailer where it's like talking about, he's like, "And this is where we take our," and like, when movies do this, I know it's gonna be bad. Where they have like the choppy slow motion of everybody raising their fists and going, "Yeah!" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be fucking garbage." They did the same thing in like Free State of Jones, and they did like you could tell.
Was it the Matthew McConaughey?
Yes.
No.
They did the same thing in that trailer, and I was like, "It's gonna be bad."
Was it?
I didn't see it. It looked, for the most part, like it was going to be an okay movie. But when that happened in the trailer, I'm like, oh. And I've heard it was bad. I've heard it was bad. Didn't see it.
Want to talk the Bat? 2021's the Bat.
Yes, I would love to talk.
Robert Battinson.
Robert Battinson. Oh my God, I love that.
I'm excited for it. Let me go off real quick. Matt Reeves, director of the last two Planet of the Apes ones, the best ones. By the way, they're bringing those back. I don't know if they're rebooting. I hope not, because those three were great. If they do a sequel about Caesar's son, I'm good.
No, I'm good with that. I don't need any more apes.
Facts.
I thought that trilogy was perfect.
It was great. But if they do one about Cornelius, because in the first one, they made a reference on how, the spaceships went to the Mars and it got lost. Ooh. So I can see them coming back, and then Cornelius is like...
Matt Reeves isn't doing it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like the guy who did Maze Runner. And when I saw that, I said, oh, God.
Oh, yeah, it is the guy that did Maze Runner. And you're like,
oh, God,
you're
no.
not making a very good case for yourself, sir. Like,
keep it up, Fox.
How do we build the hype around this movie? You know, your favorite films such as
The
Maze Runner
and The Scorch Triumph.
Ugh.
I couldn't tell you what the third one's called.
Trash
I haven't seen any
garbage.
When we talk about the Bat, yeah, Matt Reeves, Mr. Apes himself. When they announced it, I was like, I'm watching it. I don't care. Kill the Bruces again, or the Waynes. I don't care. If Matt Reeves does it, I'm fine. Zoe as Catwoman. Nice.
I think that the casting of this movie is phenomenal.
So good.
I love the guy they casted as Commissioner Gordon.
I saw it and I was like, okay. I haven't seen anything.
I've seen a couple things, and he's like good. He is a good actor.
Right,
and I could totally see him being Commissioner Gordon. Everybody's like, oh well, Commissioner Gordon's white and Batwoman's white. I'm just literally like,
he was written in 1938.
Like, who cares?
Of course he's white.
Who gives a fuck? Like nobody cares that he is white in the comics. Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody. The character's been done like 6 different times.
Exactly.
Who gives a shit?
I was excited when they casted J.K. Simmons and he had like 7 lines. I was like, what the hell is this?
They totally underutilized J.K. Simmons.
Nice. Hopefully they don't underutilize him. I don't know. It's a trilogy though. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy.
I think if they do it with enough
gusto and all that.
I feel like, so it's apparently based on the comic called The Long Halloween,
which I've never read, and
I've never read it either.
I hear it's phenomenal.
I heard it's
when
also
I tell
good,
people I haven't read it, I get yelled at. So.
I have no idea what the concept is based on, but it kind of sounds like the same thing from just how many villains they're casting in this movie.
Oh yeah.
That it's going to be like along the same lines as the Batman. What's the game that wasn't made by Rocksteady?
Arkham Origins.
Yeah, Arkham Origins, where it's like all these villains are trying to kill him on the same night, which like is cool. Kind of a weird way to set up a trilogy. Mm-hmm. Putting 16 villains in your movie because we haven't spent any time with them, and I'm pretty sure that they're not, like, it's just too much. You know, they're not. I feel like they might be shooting themselves in the foot again.
Yes.
Because there is just too many people in this movie. Like when they casted Paul Dano as the Riddler, I was like, holy shit, great. Like Paul Dano is so weird. Like, I think he's gonna be awesome.
I don't know who he is or what he's been in, but when I saw the picture, I was like, he looks like he tells riddles like in his day to day. Like he looks like he does that at like the grocery store.
He looks like an odd guy. Yeah.
He has like a double chin, but he's like 115 pounds. Like he's a scary guy to look at.
He's from. Did you ever see Prisoners? It's Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. Really? I think it's made by the same guy who did Sicario.
I haven't seen that either.
Are you Jonathan?
If it makes you feel any better, I have it on my hard drive, so I can watch it. I just choose not to.
It's great. He plays like kind of a kid who has like a disability, and like they kind
Or is
of blame him for
Is his disability that he tells riddles?
It might as well be along those same tracks. He's been in. I'm pretty sure he was in Swiss Army Man.
Didn't see that.
Swiss Army Man is a one.
I know what
You
it
will
is.
not regret watching it. Let me put it this way: like it is, you'll end it and you'll go, what? But it's good. Like, it's so much fun. Like it's just so weird and like so. It's just so out there. I had such a good time watching it. I think that he's going to be an amazing Riddler.
Good for him.
I'm super pumped for that.
Was Colin Farrell the Penguin? Is that who he's playing? That's good.
But he's not going to be like the Penguin. He's going to be like the Cobblepot, like Gotham version.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I never saw Batman Returns. Feel about a penguin on screen. I don't know how Danny DeVito was.
He was
really
supposed
scary.
to be great, but yeah, horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I went on the IMDb late at night because I just found out that Michael Keaton was Batman in that too. I thought he was just in the first one, and then I thought Val Kilmer was the second.
Val Kilmer didn't take over until the Schumacher trilogy.
The picture above the IMDb, you know how it has like a poster and it's something above it?
Mm-hmm.
The something above it is Danny DeVito as the Penguin looking like this, and I remember thinking,
oh yeah, it's horrifying.
I put my phone down.
It is really scary.
They're all on the DC app. I should. Like, I have...
Batman Returns is on Netflix. Pretty sure. If it's not, it's on fucking TBS like every single day. So
that makes sense.
Like yeah.
Rush Hour 3. It's on TBS once every 4 weeks.
I'm super pumped. Like, everybody's shit on Robert Pattinson, like, oh, he's good at Twilight, he's gonna fuck it up. Robert Pattinson's a good actor.
Has he been doing work for like 6 years since Twilight?
Yes, he's a good
forever
actor.
Ago?
Like, he is got the chops to do this.
I will say this, I'm glad Twilight didn't end his career, because, I mean, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith ended Hayden Christensen's career.
That's fair. No, he did Jumper, the hit movie Jumper after that.
Shut up.
I honestly, when I was a kid, I loved Jumper. I thought it was awesome.
I remember when it came out, I was like, this is just Nightcrawler.
And Sam Jackson in a bad white wig.
Sam Jackson's in it?
Sam Jackson's in it in a white flat top wig. It's amazing. It's so good. It's like you don't realize how bad of an actor he is until you see him do anything other than I hate you, like try to act.
That really was his best part.
It literally, like, that's it. He's so awful. But I feel really bad for him. I like Jumper.
Anyway, it didn't happen to Rob, so that's what matters. Rob still has a career. Good for him.
I think that he needs to like bulk up, obviously, a little bit. But I think that this movie has a really good shot at being a contender at the Nolan trilogy, because as of right now, it's not even close.
It takes place in the 90s, and I don't know about you, but that's like 11 years after the Joker. Just saying.
I couldn't stress enough how much I don't want the Joker to be in it.
I don't want it either.
I don't want him in there, especially Arthur Fleck. Like, I don't want it. It's just
weak ass Arthur Fleck.
If Arthur Fleck has a chance at beating Batman, then Batman in this universe is lame. Like, he just really, like, he's so easy to, we could beat Arthur Fleck with a fucking video recorder and
with a sign and at 12 years old.
like we could literally just like call the police on him, and that's how you beat Arthur Fleck.
That's
it.
Yeah,
it's over.
It's over. He got arrested, and that was the end of the movie. But like Andy Serkis as freaking Alfred. Did you know?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That's gonna be magnificent. Matt and Andy back at it again.
Matt and Andy.
It's a gift from the gods.
Whenever I think of Alfred, all I can think of is that dumb TV show.
Oh, with that stupid ass hairline.
Yeah.
You saw it, right?
Fuck no, I didn't see it.
Hell
no.
Why look up a picture right now.
Why would I want to see that?
I'm not saying watch the show. I'm saying look up a picture of Pennyworth. He has the worst Vegeta hairline you'll ever see in your life. But anyway, I'm excited to see Andy do it, because Andy isn't old as hell. Because for some reason they only interpret Alfred as ancient or super young, like Jeremy Irons, who's only like 5 years older than Ben Affleck or some shit.
I like Jeremy Irons.
I did too, but I feel like people who have a problem with Aunt May should also have a problem with Jeremy Irons being Alfred. Just saying.
Aunt May is older than Tom Holland. Like she is older. She's way older than Tom Holland.
Yeah, she's a grandma.
Oh, that's what. Fuck.
Isn't it bad? Isn't it the worst thing?
Oh God, bless. This man has got some trouble.
I
I mean,
think
he got cast as Alfred, so I mean, how?
I think it got canceled after a year.
What
Ugh.
is that?
Ugh. And
What
that's
is
not
that?
even a front-facing shot. It's just his angles are just wrong. But anyway, let's stop shitting on
I
Alfred.
liked him better in Kai.
And Kai.
The Dragon Ball joke.
Oh my god. The Batman.
Damn it, John!
I get it.
Get it together.
Dragon Ball Kai. No, I like what's her name, Kravitz as Catwoman. That's gonna be good. So
Yeah.
after they casted her, someone said this movie is too damn sexy. I was like, yeah, they got Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Like, what the fuck?
This movie is too damn sexy.
And then
I love that. That's the biggest critique of
And
this
then
whole
they
thing.
casted Riddler, and everyone's like, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You
Toned
leveled
down.
it out. Good job.
yeah, it's like
I think
pandas.
Colin Farrell's going to be amazing. They just casted Two-Face, actually.
They did.
Peter
something?
No, not Peter. Wait, is it Peter Skarsgård? It's one of the Skarsgårds.
I think it is the Peter one.
Because I don't know any. I have never seen anything he's ever been in.
I've seen
So
one Skarsgård, and it was the guy who played Tarzan, and that movie was okay at best.
I saw it on TV and it was not very good.
It
Like
looked.
the CG was
it
fucking
looked
trash.
terrible. I think-
It was so bad.
I think that screening was the same as like The Purge or whatever the fuck, or one of those horror movies. Everyone was
Yeah.
like, "John, where are you going?" And I was like, "Tarzan."
See, I was also interested in the Tarzan movie, but then I saw it on TV and I saw how bad the CG was. I was like, oh my god.
The monkeys look
Like,
bad.
This is 2017.
I was gonna
We
say,
had the capability of doing pretty good
they made
CGI.
Caesar look lifelike in 2013, and then they get these like Play-Doh fucking monkeys in Tarzan.
I thought it was, and the fact that he fought a gorilla, I'm just like, dude, the gorilla would rip his arms off.
For real. And it was, and Margot Robbie would be like, "Why are you fighting him?" And, "Oh, territory. This is my brother." And I'm like, "Fuck, this is annoying."
Silverback just punches him through his chest
Once in the chest,
and
and
that's
he's
it.
done.
Game over.
How
like,
did he survive? Let's talk about this. How the fuck did Tarzan survive all those years in the jungle?
If you think about the story of Tarzan, it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard.
Granted,
in your
there's a
life.
lot of stupid ass fairy tales, but
No,
Tarzan.
Tarzan's a special kind of stupid
Him and-
because
him and
everybody
Mowgli.
thinks that the Disney movie is like, oh my god, and the music's great, but those movies don't make any fucking sense. Period. Like, how is this kid getting raised by apes? Doesn't have a beard. He learns. Like, it's just the more you think
That
about it,
is
the more you're
true.
like, what
Yes, these
the hell?
gross ass dreadlocks. Just the thickest, nastiest dreads. They probably smell like ass, bro. But Mowgli's also terrible too. Mowgli should have. There's no reason Mowgli beat Shere Khan. There, I said it. There.
I watched that movie, by the way.
Oh, the Netflix one. What'd
Yes. It was so fucking dark.
It was so.
when the white
Wait,
dog's
is it
head.
a jar?
I was like,
so-
what? I was like, no. I was actually disturbed. I was like,
That movie was fun.
I thought it was.
It was
I thought it was
depressing as-
fine for what it was.
I was eating when I saw that. I think I had a slice of pizza in my hand. And I stopped mid-bite, like that guy with the Krabby Patty when SpongeBob does some gross shit.
I liked the. That's a great reference.
Thank you.
I liked. Fuck Jungle Book. I'm not talking about Jungle Book. I'm not gonna entertain the
John
idea of the
Favreau?
Jungle Book.
Why is John
Favreau
Favreau's-
Jungle Book is garbage.
Why is John Favreau Disney's bitch? Like, what happened that he's just doing everything?
I don't know, but
His track record is not that great. Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2.
which is okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, well, no, he also did a lot of indie films. Like he did Swingers.
I'm talking
He
about.
did Chef.
I'm talking about his track record with Disney.
Oh.
Without Disney,
Well, it's because those movies made $1 billion. They're like, fuck it, take Lion King.
Sure,
Like,
do
you
Lion
want
King
Jungle
2,
Book?
Simba's
Let's do
Pride.
Jungle Book. I didn't see the Lion King, but I heard it was bad.
Don't. It's real bad.
I knew it was gonna be bad, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, no, it's gonna be amazing," because
No.
everybody loves the Lion King. And no, it turns out it's garbage, just like Beauty and the Beast.
I
Everybody was like, "Oh my god, Beauty and the Beast is gonna be amazing." Nope, garbage. It's trash. Like, sorry.
I like that movie.
Nope. I
It just
thought
has
the first half was fine, the latter half was
The
garbage.
worst color palette I've
It
ever
was
seen.
the
in
worst
film.
thing.
It's like Half-Blood Prince levels of color palette. It's just, dear God, just a splash of color, please.
Seeing Ewan McGregor in that wig at the end made me uncomfortable.
And then Ian McKellen's old ass.
Yeah, I didn't like
Charles at the end.
I didn't like any of those. Like when they turn into humans, I'm like, okay, this is kill me.
It was cute, the cartoon, because they all like matched. Like Cogsworth was
Yeah.
wearing a yellow suit, or a brown suit, and Lumiere's had like yellow, whatever the fuck. And in this one, it's just like.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
And
like,
they look bad as props, and they looked worse as humans.
Yes.
Because they're prop. Have you seen the Pop Funkos for the Beauty and the Beast stuff?
Oh, are they? They're like terrifying. 'Cause
They're
they have
all
black eyes.
soulless.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's why I love Pop Funko, because they can take great things and make them totally horrifying.
Some stuff I very much like. I have a very big collection. However, like I have Vito Corleone holding a cat, and the cat looks like a demon. It's just bad.
And well, I mean, I thought the only thing that would work for that is Baby Yoda, because Baby Yoda has all black eyes.
They're making Baby Yoda. It's official.
Yeah, you sent me it. I'm pretty hyped.
I'm pre-ordering that. 100%.
Man, I probably won't buy it, but I'm still hyped that they're making it.
They're making Captain America with a broken shield and a hammer.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty great.
That's pretty awesome.
We were talking about something. Batman. Can't wait. 2021.
It's gonna be good.
Can't come quicker.
I'm a little nervous because of how many villains are in it.
Yeah,
but overall, I trust Matt Reeves.
I
I
do
trust
too.
Robert Pattinson. I think he's gonna do great.
I trust Zoe. I trust the Riddler guy.
I just-
He's gonna be the best one. He's just gonna be.
You
so
know what I
character.
can't wait for is the backlash that comes back when they announce that Batwoman is going to be black.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I literally
I
can't
Oh,
wait for everybody to
And-
start crying
and-
on the internet.
And Hollywood has this big problem with colorism. I hope they hire someone that isn't light skinned. Like I want them to go full dark skinned woman because we need more representation.
that would honestly I would just
Ooh, the
like,
the
I would
fanboy
love that.
tears.
I love when fanboys get really
tight.
like
That
in Captain Marvel. I didn't like the movie, but I liked the fact that all these
It made
fanboys were like,
so many people so mad.
it was just great.
Oh man,
So
there's nothing I
enjoyable.
love more than when someone casts someone in a comic book that was written in like 1940 whatever as not a white person, and then people are like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Well, you know, like people don't have a problem with Sam Jackson as Nick
As Nick
Fury.
Fury. Yeah, what the
Nick
hell?
Fury was played by David Hasselhoff
Exactly.
in the 90s. So
Very horribly at that.
nobody had a problem. I don't understand where their limits.
They pick and choose
Like,
with their
I don't-
with their racism
yeah,
and
like-
colorism and all that.
I don't understand where the
Assholes.
line is drawn.
Very, very far back. If this is the line, they're standing right here.
They got mad at Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel was written as a female.
Exactly.
Like I don't get it. I don't get it. But
Anyway, Captain Marvel's not good. But
it's not good.
Monica Rambeau is going to be in, I think she's in Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
Oh, who cares?